In this problem, we're going to graph exponential functions. Let's take a look. We have f of x is equal to 2 to the x power. So let's evaluate that first function, f of 0. We have 2 to the 0th power. Remember, anything to the 0th power is 1. We'll analyze f of 1 as well. 2 to the first power gives us 2. And we'll continue to work our way through these evaluation problems. F of 2 will give us 4. F of 3 will then give us 8. Now let's do the negative domain values. F of a negative 1 give us 2 to the negative first, which is 1/2. F of negative 2 is 2 to the negative second power. That will give us a value of 1/4. And similarly, f of a negative 3 will give us 1/8. So these are the values we're going to use to graph the exponential function 2 to the x power. I'm going to do that in red over here. We have 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, and about in there, and 3, 8. On the left here, at negative 1, we're at 1/2, and it begins to get a little difficult here as we graph these problems, negative 2 and 1/4, so on and so forth. So we're going to connect our dots here with a nice smooth curve. Note that this graph cannot cross the x-axis. The x-axis for this problem is known as a horizontal asymptote. So there is f of x graphing the exponential function 2 to the x. Now that we have the graph of f of x, let's use that to graph g of x. Let's take a look. G of x is the exponential function 2 to the x plus 1 power. And notice in here we have a plus 1 in the exponent. That's going to be a transformation that we learned earlier, and in this case it's going to be a shift 1 unit to the left. So what we can do is use the points from f of x and shift each of those over to the left 1 unit. You can see those indicated in blue here. And from this we're going to create the nice smooth graph of g of x, and it gets a little tied in here at the bottom, but the shape of the graph has not changed whatsoever. The red graph has only been shifted to the left 1 unit. And from this we can see a nice graph of g of x, the exponential function 2 to the x plus 1 power.